So you're looking to move to Florida, or you already live in Florida and you want to live on the beach. You want to be able to wake up, see the sunrises, enjoy the beach, the sand, the sun, everything that it has to offer. And it sounds like a dream come true. But what if I told you that it's really not all it's cracked up to be, and it's actually more of a headache and a pain in the butt than it really is that nice? In this video, we're going to talk all about reasons why you probably just shouldn't live on the beach. And honestly, it's just nicer to maybe go across the bridge from the intercoastal and head to the beach, or just live not too far away. But before we do that, if you or anyone you know are looking to buy, sell, or invest here in South Florida, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. But let's jump into it. Let's really talk about why living on the beach really isn't all it's cracked up to be here in South Florida. For starters, we gotta talk about the traffic. And yes, the traffic in South Florida can be brutal across the board, whether you're going north, south, east, west, wherever the hell you're going, it can be brutal. But along the beach, it is terrible sometimes. It can take, just to go half a mile, sometimes upwards of 20 to 30 minutes. And that's without any festivals going on, any events, anything like that. Plus, if you're trying to get across the bridge, not just head up the beach north and south, if you're trying to go back across west, because let's be real, there's not Publix or grocery stores right there on A1A, it could also take you 20, 30 minutes, depending on what road you take. The bridges are up, like you can get stuck by a lot of different things. And that's what not a lot of people think about. Now, on the flip side of things, let's look at the positives of it. Yes, you could always Instacart your groceries and get things delivered. Plus, there's a ton of restaurants and bars and things to go and hang out at. So if you're more of someone who goes and gets everything delivered, or you just go and eat out, this is a perfect opportunity for you. However, a lot of the restaurants on the beach, you will pay a premium because it's a lot more touristy. They're not things like Applebee's, Chili's, all that. You still have to go across the bridge. There is a Taco Bell cantina in Fort Lauderdale Beach, so if you're a Taco Bell fan, there is something for you there. However, in the grand scheme of things, you still have to drive back west across the bridge, most likely to do most of your normal day-to-day shopping. However, you can still get it delivered, and it still makes it really easy at the end of the day. Next is the condo living. Now, condo living isn't for everyone. For some people, it's amazing. Think about it. You don't have to cut your grass. You don't have to do the maintenance. You don't have to really worry about anything but except for what's inside your unit. However, on the flip side of things, since you are living in a condo, you are gonna have higher HOA fees, and we're talking about anywhere, if you're on the beach, anywhere usually from about $1,000 a month to upwards of $2,000, $2,500 a month. On top of that, we have this new thing here in South Florida and Florida in general, and that's called assessments. Ever since what happened in Surfside, the state of Florida has taken measures to ensure the safety of these buildings as well as the residents who live in these buildings. We don't want something like that to ever happen again. So with that being said, a lot of these buildings are having to go through these concrete restorations. They're having to raise their reserve funds, plus they're having increased insurance. So all this is now getting charged to the building, and they're passing that on to all the residents. So it's not uncommon for each one of these residents to have assessments of upwards of $80,000, $100,000, maybe $120,000 to fix everything wrong with the building, plus have a fully funded reserve. And then, oh yeah, your HOA is gonna be raised because our insurance has doubled and even tripled because our building's old and it needs all these updating. Now, granted, you don't have to pay all of that at once. You can pay that in a monthly fee. So sometimes you'll see residents having to pay their HOA fee plus an assessment fee on top of everything else. So in some cases, you could be looking at $300, $400, maybe $4,500 a month before you even touch your mortgage. And this is if you have a mortgage. If it's paid off, that's awesome. But you still have these fees you're gonna have to pay every single month. Even if you pay cash for a condo, you're gonna have to pay your HOA and you're gonna have to pay your assessments. Now, granted, if you go and look to buy a condo, there are some that don't have any assessments, or the sellers are willing to pay it off with the sale of the home. So that's a good thing to be able to get into, but then you have to think about the HOA fee. Now, granted, on the flip side, a lot of these buildings have some great amenities. So you're really paying for the covered parking, the distance to the beach, the closeness right there, the pool, fitness center, the front desk. Sometimes they have a concierge. And some of these buildings, especially as you go into Miami and with some of these newer buildings that are being built, some of the amenities are world class. You literally do not have to leave the building at all, which kind of ties back into that first point. Like, you don't have to leave at all. Sometimes there's a restaurant downstairs as well. It's literally like living at a resort. So that's an awesome opportunity for you. However, some people still like the space. And if you do like space, you're gonna want you're not gonna want a condo, you're gonna want a house or maybe even a townhome. But to be able to live on the beach, you do have to sacrifice just a little bit. Next has to be the parking situation. Yes, with a lot of these units, you do get one covered spot. However, sometimes if you have 2 or even maybe 3 cars, you can't park it at the building, or you're gonna have to pay for an additional parking spot. Okay, maybe you just wanna park outside and park, maybe near the beach or like in a parking lot nearby. That's also not free, so you're still gonna have to pay for that. And depending on the time of the year and depending on where you're parking, it can get pretty costly. However, with most of the cities down here, especially like Fort Lauderdale, Boca, Del Rey, Hollywood, Dania, Hollandale, You can do parking with the city and be set up, but then it's just becoming finding a spot, especially during these busy peak seasons when there's a ton of people down here. Finding parking can be very, very tricky. Next has to be the tourist. So obviously if you're living on the beach or near the beach, everyone's gonna, and their mom is gonna wanna come and visit you, or they're just gonna wanna come and visit the beach in general, because obviously that's a huge tourist attraction for us here in South Florida. Now, not to say that it's constantly busy. I mean, it's still pretty busy all the time. However, there are certain times of year and during certain festivals and different events that the beach gets absolutely swamped. So if you hate being around people, or you just want to be kind of secluded and not be around a ton of people all the time, then maybe living on the beach isn't for you. Now, don't get me wrong, it's awesome because there's a ton of stuff to do. There's always events, festivals, different things going on. You're always around people, so it's very lively, and especially if you're a very social person, this would be awesome for you. However, if you're going somewhere like a restaurant, you want to go shopping, I mean, granted, there's not a whole lot of shopping like right there on the beach, or just to go do normal things, it can get pretty packed very, very quickly, and you're gonna have long wait times for a lot of things, just depending on the time of year. However, like I said before, it's honestly not that bad. You do get used to it very, very quickly, and at the end of the day, as long as you're meeting new people and you're having fun, that's all that really matters. Another thing that you probably wouldn't think of, and you probably think that this could never happen to me, is that you actually get sick of the beach. Yes, sick of the beach. You moved here to live on the beach and enjoy it, but now I'm gonna get sick of it. What in the world are you talking about, Joe? So actually, once you live here, and especially a lot of locals here in South Florida, most of them don't actually go to the beach, or they go sparingly like here and there to go and enjoy it. What a lot of people do who live down here is they actually go out on the water via boat. So a lot of people like to get out there, whether it's on a boat, a friend's boat, jet skis, kayaks, paddleboards, just to get out on the water where it's not as packed and you can kind of explore and see some different things. Because yes, going to the beach is fun, getting a tan is fun, but some people just like, they don't like the crowdedness, they don't like the sand, they don't like that whole aspect of it. But if you can go out on the water and be on a boat and get to enjoy all the positives of the beach, plus you get to explore, hang out with your friends, listen to music, have some food, drinks, and you actually hit up sandbars as well, it's actually a lot more fun. And once you get out there and realize it, you'll kind of see. I mean, there's a little sandbar right near here in Fort Lauderdale. There's one, well, Hollover's no longer there. A lot of people do go up to Peanut Island. So there's a lot of cool different areas to go and hang out. Plus you can actually go out to the ocean and there's these buoys that you can tie up to. As long as it's a flat day or not super rough, that's kind of fun too. And you get to snorkel and kind of just explore and hang out with your friends. And really enjoy the beach, but not at the beach at the same time. And last but definitely not least, I will say, are the home prices. So obviously being close to the water and right there on the beach, your prices are going to be significantly higher than that of homes out west. Now, granted, a lot of condos, due to everything that's going on, are still affordable because we have a plethora of inventory. We have actually more inventory right now in April of 2024 in terms of condos than we do any other home type. So that's townhomes and single family homes. So if you're looking for a deal and you can weather the storms through some of these assessments and the HOA fees, it might be an opportunity to get a discount. However, some of those that are offering a discount aren't as amenity rich buildings at the same time. Now, when you're looking at even homes or townhomes near the beach, not necessarily condos, those can be pricey as well because you are living in some of the most sought after real estate in all of South Florida. The closer to the water you are or on the water, the more expensive it's gonna be. On top of that, you do have a little bit higher property taxes as well because of where you are located. Along with, most likely, depending on where it is, and this changes all the time, you're gonna have to carry flood insurance. If you're not condos handle the insurance side of it, but if you're living in like a home, a single family home or a townhome, depending on where it is, most likely you're gonna have to have flood insurance. So all these costs start to add up. So if you can afford it and you're okay with all these costs, by all means, definitely do it. Like some great examples of it are like, if you can live in Lauderdale by the Sea in a single family house or a townhome, you can walk across to the beach. You also have downtown Lauderdale by the Sea, which is awesome to go and hang out. And yes, you do pay a little bit of a premium, but you're also right there in commercial, so you can head right across the bridge. It doesn't get too busy. It's kind of tucked away in a sense, which is really nice. However, in some other areas like Golden Beach, for example, a lot more expensive homes. They are oceanfront homes and they're beautiful, but it does take you probably about 20 to 25 minutes to get across the bridge to do your shopping and things like that. However, if I was living there, honestly, I'm gonna get everything delivered and enjoy the beach. But that's just something to keep in mind. Now, yes, on the condo side, more affordable. However, there are more expensive options the more amenity rich you get, along with those buildings that have been through a lot of their assessments. And then obviously condo or single family homes and townhomes vary depending on where you are. Now, granted, what a lot of people do to make it, kind of offset the cost is they live right across the bridge. So they're on the west side of the Intercoastal. Prices are a little bit more affordable. You're close to everything, shopping, dining, everything you need to do. And then to go to the beach, it's only a quick drive over, or you could ride your bike or even walk. And that's what a lot of people do because it just makes a lot of sense sometimes, and you don't have all the cons of living on the beach side. However, let me know in the comments down below. Would you rather live on the beach, or would you rather live a little bit further from the beach but have a little bit more of a house and a lot more shopping, dining, and entertainment options? Let me know in the comments. And if anyone you know are looking to move to the beach or a little bit west, or honestly anywhere here in the state of Florida, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. My contact information is down below. Please text us, call us, email, DM us, whatever's easiest for you, we got you.